Ninjakiwi finally remembered that the Engineer Paragon exists. Yes, this is an absolutely forgotten Paragon, and actually you guys might have noticed that for the price, the Engineer Paragon has always been kind of lacking a little bit and no one's been exactly using it. Well, Ninjakiwi has decided to, well, finally remember that they actually had put the Engineer Paragon in BT6, and not only that, but they did a really good job in buffing it in the latest updates. So let's walk you guys through all of the changes. This is a really important change happening with the Engineer Paragon, so I'm really excited to try this out. So let's start off with this thing. The attack cooldown is getting increased a little bit, which means that the Engineer Paragon is attacking a little bit slower. It went from 0.3 to 1 second, but they tried to compensate by giving it extra damage. Now these numbers kind of balance out, but then what is important for us is the fact that, well, the boss damage got increased by 5 times, went from 100 to 500 extra damage to bosses, and I guess the nails do a little bit of an extra stun, which is always nice, but not exactly that important for what we're trying to do. But this next change is the one that we're most interested about, and is that the attack cooldown increase rate, I guess, is getting increased from 0.1 to 0.3, which basically means that the overclock is going to be, or the Engineer Paragon is going to be overclocking itself a lot faster, and it's going to be reaching peak attack speed in about 20-ish rounds, and that is huge. And if you just combine this thing with all of these, you know, the extra boss damage and the fact that you're going to need only about 20-ish rounds for this guy to overclock himself, that is going to unlock a lot more power in this Engineer Paragon, and I'm super excited to try this out. And I guess the question is the Engineer Paragon finally going to be viable in our games? And I hope the answer is yes. Hopefully this guy dishes a lot more DPS than previously, so let me just skip the boring part of the farming and I'm gonna see you guys in a sec. Alright, so let me explain to you guys what is happening as I'm getting ready to defend. So we're playing Lich. Obviously you guys might have caught onto that thing, and we're actually playing Lich for a very specific reason. I wanted to do this on a Saturday, so tomorrow is Saturday, and I would usually, you know, play these bosses, as you guys probably know. But the thing is that tomorrow we have Blast the Populace as the boss, and the problem with the Engineer Paragon is that, well, that guy has 2 of its 3 sentries have the plasma type attack, which means they're not going to be doing any damage to Blast the Populace, so it would not be exactly a good idea to try out the Engineer Paragon versus Blast the Populace. I was like, yeah, let's do Lich today, and then we're gonna have the normal boss. So you guys are gonna be watching 2 boss videos, I guess, in 2 days, so hopefully you don't mind that too much. Let's actually be careful with what we're doing with this boss, because I am gonna be using the sniper, but we also have like 17 lives, and one Lich soul picks for 11 lives, so we cannot afford to take way too many of these souls. So that's why I'm not even trying to like proc the skull and proc the soul. Let's actually give this guy some camo detection, and then what else are we doing? I think we're just saving a little bit of cash, and we're starting to get ready just for the elite defender straight up. I think we go for the full auto now. Is that gonna be enough actually to defend? Let's please make sure we save all the lives. There we go. And I'll get the elite defender. Now switch this guy to strong, and I just want to give this guy as much attack speed as possible. So jungle jumps, I'm even gonna give him something like a 3-0, maybe even like a 4-0 outcomes. Make sure we pop the soul and it doesn't tick. Oh no, it ticks. That's a problem, guys. All right, that's not good because we don't have that many lives to spare. Okay, so how about we do an Embrittlement Ice, which is only gonna be like +1 damage, but hopefully it helps. I'm gonna have it like this. Our farming is doing kind of well. I'm not exactly worried about our farming. I'm just worried about the lives and the Lich soul. So we're gonna tick now, and let's see if this is gonna be enough. +1 damage. The sniper is attacking super fast. Oh no, it still gets off 1 tick. Okay, so we can only afford 2 more ticks from the Lich soul. That was really good. Okay, so we didn't tick any. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, so we can tick twice on both of the skulls remaining. So I think we have this thing actually. That was really nice that we somehow. I think it wasn't actually somehow. I think it was because I bought the strongest stimulant. So oh, but look at this thing. Now it ticks. I don't know what's happening with this soul, but I feel like we are gonna have it, right? So yeah, we get the extra attack speed from the previous one, and it's gonna completely destroy it. All right, so let me make sure, yes, auto start is off. So once we've dealt with this one, let's just go back to farming and make sure we have a lot of money so we can buy super high Engineer Paragon degree. And I actually love Geraldo farming so much, because here's what we can do. We can give this farm the fertilizer. I already gave the Engie the Jerry's Fire, so it's gonna help it deal with mob class balloons. Let's overclock. Let's have the tech bot set up with the overclock. And what am I missing? Maybe we're gonna have to move the trap back, but I think that's not gonna be a big issue. So let's when is this mob gonna pop? Oh, we need to give this guy camo detection actually, so let's give the trap camo detection, and this is amazing, guys. We're doing well so far. I should probably spend the money, by the way, investing into more farms, because we're 13k, actually 14, and look at how crazy our farming is. I think that if my math is correct, if I sell all of these guys, we can have a banana central on round 53. That's insane, with an overclock under a Minneapolis. That's insane, guys. All right, so our farming is absolutely gonna skyrocket. Let's make sure we don't mess it up. So the only thing that we need to take care of is just buying a good Engie degree, and that is about it. Okay, so I'm just gonna buy, I guess, a couple more 40-0 farms. All right, everyone, so round 59, I think we can afford, yes, finally, on time, get the wall sheet as well. Look at the amount of money that we're making. I'm just so glad that everything is working out for us in this run, because this is the run in which, well, we need a lot of money so that we can get as high of a degree as possible on the Engineer Paragon. I even want to buy Geraldo's levels. I want to get him up to level 20 so we unlock out the Paragon totems a little bit faster, but let's focus on the defenses and let's actually get an engineer so we can start collecting some pops actually. And this guy's only gonna be here so that he collects pops and nothing else. Getting him ultra boosted is not a good idea because, well, Lich, so he's only gonna have to remain like this, but it's no problem. So let's actually have him collect pops and then let's just do the thing that we normally do for the tier 1. Oh, wait a minute, what's happening? What is healing Lich? I'm trying to figure out. I mean, it's not the extra attack speed that the millipede the NG gets off the start of a round, is it? Because it attacks a little bit faster when the round starts, similarly to like the bottom pad spike, but I don't think that's it. I hope that that's it actually, because I can just sell it or move it. And yeah, so the mat is up and running. I don't think we're gonna have too many issues with this boss, but this is again just like a pass-through tier, because starting from the next tier is where things are gonna start getting serious, because the next tier is the one in which I want to have an Engineer Paragon for the first time. Let's just defeat this boss as soon as possible so we can put the money to work, and then yeah, the tier 3 is gonna be amazing because I'm gonna get I guess it's gonna be kind of a lower degree on the Engineer Paragon, but we don't need too high of a degree for the tier 3. So yeah, that was gonna be the tier 2 boss. I think auto start is off, so yeah, let me just sell this guy, and I'm gonna see you guys in a second for a tier 3 for the first time with the Engineer Paragon, which you don't see too often. It feels so good, guys. It's been a very long time since I've been so meticulous about farming in a boss event, and this is just amazing. So you guys saw Banana Central 53, we had the Wall Street on 59, and this is pretty much the entirety of the map filled up with farms. But I guess we can use this money to just do we buy up Gyarados to level 20? Yeah, why not? Let's just buy the level 20. Let's just start placing a couple of totems. I guess it's only gonna be like 2 totems, nothing too much. Maybe by the time the boss arrives, I'm gonna place a couple more, but for now we need to focus on just, well, getting our tier 5 towers up. So that's gonna be the ultra boost next, and we're gonna get the big trap, and then it's just gonna be the Engineer Paragon. So let's focus up on getting this thing going, and I'm gonna see you guys at the boss in 5 rounds from now. All right, so here comes the tier 3. 1.1 million HP on this Lich. He's kind of fast. We're missing about $100,000, which we should make kind of soon-ish, I think. And then where do we place the Engineer? I feel like this is gonna be a decent spot, right? It doesn't exactly matter that much. Yeah, let's have it like this. We are proccing the heal a lot, actually. Yeah, I think it's just the ultra boost, just overclocking. Well, not overclocking itself, but I guess overclocking itself at the start of the round is I guess what's happening. So yeah, let's buy the Master Builder, and I don't think we're gonna be putting any money into this thing. We have 2 Paragon Power Totems, so it's gonna be a degree 11, which is I guess totally understandable. All right, so this guy should be doing a lot more damage to bosses just because his boss damage, regardless of the overclocking thing, he now does 5 times more damage to bosses. Went from 100 bonus damage to bosses to 500. So this guy should just, well, go to town onto this boss. And actually, let me just even keep placing the sentries as well. And how is it looking? He's still healing, guys. Let's lock this sentry in place, by the way. One of the new changes in the latest update. That's very nice. And let's just keep placing these other sentries. So let's have the red one like this. We're gonna have the blue one in a second. And how's the damage? I mean, the damage is doing very well, right? It's also gonna kind of overclock itself, and it seems, yeah, it seems to be picking up this damage. Yes, so as long as he doesn't heal too much, we absolutely have this thing even before he goes out of the range of the Engineer Paragon, which is kind of big, to be honest. So yeah, let's have the blue sentry like this. And then where is this one? This one is kind of far. I wanted to sell it to maybe do a little bit of damage, so maybe when the boss comes like in the range from this side, I'm gonna sell this one and then replace it again. But this guy is melting the boss, guys. Look at what is happening. This is just a degree 11 NG, and this guy is just so much better. I think you can feel the difference onto this boss as well. You know, previously I remember just going for the tier 5 boss and having the Engineer Paragon just like a, I don't know, like a, maybe a degree 20 or 30 or something like that, or the Engineer Paragon, and it would do like 4 to 5 million damage like in total, and that was just absolutely pathetic. And I think we're just gonna run by those numbers. Let me just, I guess we can just do this and the boss is gonna disappear. That's because I placed the green sentry and the previous one automatically sold itself. So yeah, that was the tier 3. Actually a lot of damage from the Engineer Paragon. I'm really surprised that it did that well. All right, so now let's go back to placing a bunch of Paragon Power Totems, and then let's get ready for the next one. So what I want to do for the tier 4 is actually we're gonna sell this guy. I'm gonna keep it actually before we reach the next tier, but what we're gonna do for this one is we're gonna place as many Paragon Power Totems as possible. We're gonna sacrifice the most amount of money possible to the Engineer Paragon, and then we're gonna get, well, I guess hopefully like an over 60 degree onto this guy, hopefully a little bit more than that, so that guy can overclock itself and get max power for the tier 5. All right, guys, so we are back at the tier 4, and here is what we're doing. So I bought the heli, which I'm gonna pick up the favorite trades boat. Actually, we're gonna create the helicopter and then sell all of these farms at an increased rate, which is gonna give us a little extra cash. And then we have 19 Paragon Power Totems, and including the extra cash that we're gonna get from selling all these farms, we're gonna get a super high degree on the Paragon. But first, let me just place all these sacrificial NGs. There we go. And I'm actually gonna press start, and we're gonna let the boss come out because I want to greed this thing out as much as possible with the Paragon Power Totems actually. So I want to place a couple more of these guys. So let's actually get to selling while we're waiting for these rounds to well, kind of pass. Oh, wait a minute, we are not exactly defending, I guess, whatever the boss is sending at us. So let's give you camo, let's give you Jerry's Fire, and then what? Maybe like, we have a lot of money, so I guess we can just afford to place the genies just for a second. It's not gonna be too long, guys, so let me just sell a bunch of these farms. Then, is that all? I hope it is, because we're not getting a second shot at this. I mean, maybe the last thing to do is just to sell the heli itself, but I feel like I'm doing something by blowing back these ceramics, so let's just wait, like, I don't know, like, one more round. Is that greeting it out too much? Just so we can, like, we're at 19 Paragon Power Stones. Let's just make it an even 20, and then we're gonna buy the Engineer Paragon. Okay, so let me use the Marine, and then whenever we pop these guys, these should be the last of the round. Yes, there we go. All right, so last Paragon Power Totem, 20, and then I'm gonna sell this guy as well, and it's time, guys. All right, so this is gonna be, I guess, the one and only push that we can do for this thing. So Paragon Power Totems, and basically, well, a bunch of sacrificial towers, a bunch of cash, and let's see what degree we get. Hopefully it's over 60, and that's gonna be degree 71. That's insane. This guy is super high of a degree, and you know what's actually really cool? The fact that by the time we reach the tier 5, he's gonna overclock himself almost to the max. In fact, it's if we reach like around 124, it is gonna be max overclock. So let's just watch this guy go to town versus the tier 4 Lich. He's gonna destroy, by the way. Let's lock the sentries in place. We are leaking a little bit of lives to the Lich soul, it looks like, but we still don't have like the sentry army ready to go. So yeah, oh, look at the HP go. He's melting it, guys. Yes, this new extra damage to bosses is actually insane. This is, by the way, gonna be the last sentry that we place. So now, oh my, if I just speed this thing up, okay, so take a look at the the HP of the boss. So if I just play at 3 times speed, look at what's happening. Look how fast this thing is going. Yeah, that's a lot of damage that this Engineer Paragon can do, it seems like. I'm actually very impressed with this guy. Okay, so here's what we can do. We can place the next sentry. Actually, you know what? It's really fun. So the next sentry is the green one, and I think it plays the green one somewhere around here if I can find it. Yes, there we go. Okay, so let's sell actually the green one. Let's see how much damage this is gonna do. Oh, no, you're not supposed to sell it. You're supposed to place the next one so that it auto sells and it doesn't count as a sell and it doesn't heal Lich. Oh my god. Yeah, you can kind of tell that I don't use the Engineer Paragon too often, right? Let's see if it works like that. So if I go like this, yes, that's the explosion. It triggers the entire skull. Okay, so you're supposed to be placing them with Lich. All right, there we go. I got it. But how is our boy looking? Look at our Engineer Paragon going down. We should actually remember the amount of bombs that this guy has so that we can kind of get a gauge on how good it is. But that's the tier 4. I mean, he is absolutely owning. This was a pretty fast clear onto the tier 4. I know the boss made it actually over to the other side, but we bought the Engineer Paragon a little bit late, so I guess it doesn't really matter that much. Alright, so watching the tiers 3 and 4 actually gets me really excited about what's going to happen to tier 5, because keep in mind, he's going to be a lot stronger when he reaches the tier 5 because of the constant overclocks. So I would not even actually be surprised. In fact, well, not that I wouldn't be surprised, I'm actually hoping that he can solo the tier 5 because, well, that's, I guess, as you guys can see, that's what we're playing off in this one. You know what I wish they would put an indicator as to how many times this guy is overclocked himself, because there's no way for you to know at how many stacks we currently are. I guess this like little green thingy running around in circles, I guess that's kind of the overclock giveaway, but we don't know how many overclocks we got, and I don't feel like people might know that. And here it is, guys. This is tier 5. We have $100,000, which is going to be just enough for some damage amplification towers, so you know what, might as well buy them. Okay, so let's just go for something like, I guess like this, the cripple, and then I guess I'm gonna go for a 510 super build, and I'm gonna stop here. I don't really think that we're gonna need the glue. Hope I don't eat my words, but let's go. So tier 5 with an almost maxed out Engineer Paragon. This guy is gonna max out himself with the overclocks in 4 rounds from now, I think it's gonna be. So let's see if a 71 degree Engineer Paragon, a super buffed actually degree 71 Engineer Paragon, is gonna be able to take down Lich. So I'm gonna do the selling thing with the turrets like starting from the get-go. So I'm just gonna place this one and see. Oh, they do a lot of damage. That's like half a skull actually. We should be playing off of the sell back onto these sentries. I mean, we are getting some ticks from the soul, but I'm not exactly too worried about it. So let's activate the next explosion from the sentries. We should be playing off of these explosions. I think that's the most important part. And then how is this guy doing? I mean, the damage is super strong, guys. He is doing a lot of damage. So keep in mind, this is like a solo Paragon that is just going to town versus this Lich. Like this is not a small deal if he beats Lich by himself, is what I'm saying. Okay, so let's do the next sell back onto this next sentry, and let's place the other one. Let's lock this guy here in place because, well, now we can do that. And actually, I should have planned this placement because, well, is this going to be in range? I think we should wait for him to make the turn and then sell it, and I think it is going to be in range actually. This is actually crazy. I think he might do it, guys. The boss is at half HP. Let's place the next sentry like this, get the explosion going. Very good. I am very much liking what I'm seeing. So round 124, I think, is going to be the round at which this guy maxes out his attack speed, and he is, let me just watch that. Oh my god, that damage is correct. Look at the damage, 31 million pops in total. He is doing so much damage, especially with this extra boss damage. Is insane. All right, so let me just sell the other sentry, get a little bit more damage done to the boss, and it looks like he's gonna do it, guys. 2.5 more skulls left. Let's also make sure that we keep selling these guys. So there's gonna be the red sentry coming off cooldown in a second, so I'm gonna place it just like this so it's in range again. There we go. That's second to last skull. It's doing amazing, guys. This Engineer Paragon actually soloed Lich. It's insane what a good buff they gave it, actually. So they finally remembered that the Engineer Paragon exists, and this was an amazing buff, and it's actually gonna take it down by itself. Degree 71. The most important thing is not the degree, by the way, but it's the fact that we allowed it enough time for it to overclock itself, and you can absolutely see these new overclocking buffs that they gave it. So let's just do, this is gonna be probably the last explosion that we do for this run, and this Engineer Paragon is just so good, and I'm so impressed by this tower, and am I glad to have done this thing, because guys, 71 degree fully overclocked Engineer Paragon actually solos Lich, which is really cool. All right, so that is gonna be it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm gonna see you all in the next one.